Typically, when I do a video on Genshin Impact, it's about something positive. They broke a new record. They ended up the #1 trending video on YouTube. They broke Twitter with the amount of retweets or really provocative fan art. But not today. Today, Genshin Impact was trending, but for all the wrong reasons. Yeah. It's pretty bad. The biggest gacha game owes its main voice actor for months as an impact she couldn't even pay for her rent. The reason Genshin Impact is trending is because the voice of Paimon made a tweet that went on to claim Genshin Impact, the publisher for Genshin Impact specifically, not MiHoYo, not HoYoverse. This is completely disconnected from Honkai Star Rail and the larger studio, the developers specifically overall. This is specifically pertaining to Formosa. The voice actress for Paimon went on to state that for the last several months, she has been working on voicing Paimon and has not been paid. She's not been paid for a single day's work. And you might be thinking to yourself, hey, Stix, maybe you're taking this out of context. Maybe she's over-exaggerating. This was further corroborated by a multitude of other voice actors that voice other characters in Genshin Impact. Before we delve into this drama though, I want to take a moment here to thank our incredible patrons over on Patreon. You guys allow for me to continue to cover the juicy drama like this every single day, and I genuinely appreciate the support. Also, if you have a moment, consider following me over on Twitch, where I'm streaming Genshin Impact and Tower of Fantasy. I know, shocking, every day this week, and probably next week as well. The voice actress goes on to state, I've been working for months unpaid on a big project for a studio. I am owed thousands of dollars. I'm struggling currently to pay rent because of this. This project has made billions. The project should be Union. This wouldn't happen if the game was Union. Tell them to make the game SAG. Just to be clear, we don't know if this is a fault of the studio or the game company, but regardless, if the game was Union, this wouldn't happen. The top comment goes on to state, oh boy, I knew this was coming, but for context here, it seems like other voice actors, like the Chinese voice actors, the Korean voice actors, the Japanese voice actors don't have the same issue that the English voice actors have, and that is because the English version is published by Formosa. It's the English studio's fault. It's not the developer's fault. It is the English publisher's fault. It's Formosa Studio, which is responsible for paying their English voice actors. Their content creators get paid on time, and only English voice actors having an issue like this, so this must be an English branch studio fault, right? The tweet listed here goes on to state from Mika, a content creator for Genshin Impact, logistically, Formosa Interactive may be to blame, but HoYoverse also needs better oversight on contracted go-betweens. Content creators seem to be paid properly because, as far as I know, HoYoverse deals with them directly, but essential to ensure other professionals like voice actors are treated the same. So I do want to note here, I have been sponsored on numerous occasions for Genshin Impact, for Honkai Impact 3rd, for Honkai Star Rail. I've worked on 3 separate projects for Honkai Star Rail in the last 45 days alone, and I just did a sponsored Zenless Zone Zero video that actually launches tomorrow on my MMObyte channel. So I have worked quite extensively with each English studio, and I've had absolutely no issue with payments. Brandon, aka the voice actor of NPCs on Genshin, has the same issue like Karina. He seems like Love Studio Rocket Sound, which is a Honkai Star Rail studio, which is different from Genshin, who is using Formosa, so we know who's... Okay, so here's another voice actor. Fun fact, Honkai Star Rail is not done through the same studio. Now, whether the new one is any better remains to be seen. Just to clear things up, Honkai Star Rail is done by Studio Rocket Sound. Genshin Impact is done by Formosa Group. Hold on, hold on, Formosa Group. Is that a studio? Like, is that video editing services in New York? So this isn't the publisher then, right? So this is actually not, this is not the English publisher. Okay, so I want to backtrack a little bit here and state, this is not the publisher in the West. This is just the studio responsible for the English dubs. Let me clarify. Earlier, I did state that it is the English publisher. It is not the English publisher. This is the company that does the dubbing in English. Here's another link and another link. The fourth one is actually from the voice actor of Diluc. The third one here, I have too many tabs open. Let me close some of these. All right, I can't sleep. The last post so I can have my thoughts cleared. I've asked and emailed and called and everything else that is in my power as an actor to do with Formosa and received little to no response. I cannot go months without being paid. Other actors can, I'm sure, but I'm not at that place yet. I have bills. Los Angeles is pricey. I'm not sure how other actors are being treated, but I speak only for myself. I'm well aware of what this could do to my relationship with the studio and client, but I gotta go live. Union or bust for me going forward. That sucks, like seriously, especially as someone, like if you're not a big voice actor and you don't have the backing of the larger community or a large community of followers. But like, I can't believe that Hoyo, like I know it's not Hoyo's responsibility necessarily to deal with this, but the fact that they're unaware of it, they should theoretically be able to push Formosa to pay their voice actors. I don't understand why they're not. Maybe they're just unaware that this is going on, and maybe the fact that this is trending will bring it to their attention. I don't know. Now, Diluc's voice actor actually has something to say about this as well. Please remember that MiHoYo is the publisher, not the recording studio we work through. Yeah, and as I noted earlier, I retracted my statement. The studio Formosa is the recording studio, the dubbing studio, not the actual publisher. I'll note this in a little bit of text earlier in the video to make sure that this is something that you are all well aware of, and that this is expressed verbally and visually. They may be just as unaware of this issue as the rest of you were, and the hope is that they can be made aware of how it's affecting their image and through subsequent actions corrected. This is really all that people can do though. I mean, like sure, I have multiple contacts in Hoyo that work in Genshin, that work in Honkai Impact, that work in Honkai Star Rail, and that are working in Zenless Zone Zero now. But I'm sure even if I reach out to them, I'm like, hey, these voice actors aren't being paid, they're not gonna be able to do shit. The only way that you can have attention brought to it is to discuss this on a public forum where you can bring attention to it. And the more attention that gets brought to it, the more they cannot deny that it is happening, the more that they cannot ignore it. So if you're a fan of Genshin Impact, or if you're a fan of Hoyo in general, tweet about this. Make sure the voice actors know that they're supported. Hoyo knows that this is happening. Keep this trending. Make sure that Formosa pays their voice actors. It is absolutely necessary. This is terrible. If I didn't get paid for a sponsored video I did on this channel, I would make a follow-up video and I would rip them to pieces. They would know, everyone would know how shitty and shady of a company they were. And I have all the respect for the voice actors that are doing this. They deserve all of our support. They bring the characters in these games to life, and I cannot express how much this must suck for them. They're all out thousands of dollars. That's a lot of money. Now, if Genshin Impact isn't your kind of game, absolutely no problem. I got you covered with 2 different videos on screen right now. Might be more interest to you.